Alright, what is going on, guys? On Friday, so I'm quite a few days late to the party on this, but, there's not that much coaster news all that often, so most coaster channels are kind of late to the party on announcing news. It's not like a Nintendo or tech-related thing where you got to get the news out quickly. I can just kind of talk about this late, and it's not a big deal. But on Friday, Dollywood announced the new expansion for 2019 that I had a video or two showing you the construction for. We now know what it is. It is called Wildwood Grove, and it is a brand new family area that I'm going to say is pretty similar to the county or country fair area, except the country fair area is starting to look a little bit dated. This has a significantly different theme, and of course it is a family area, but I still think the rides in it look pretty darn fun. But this was a little bit of an underwhelming announcement. As you can see here in the trailer video, this is about all we got in terms of, it's just a little bit of concept art that's not very, accurate. We didn't get any stats or anything. So hopefully closer to the opening of the area, we get some stats and some better renderings of what the stuff looks like. And there's also going to be a family suspended coaster in this thingamajigger, this little area. There's going to be a lot of stuff here. You're seeing the trailer right now kind of showing you a lot of different things, and also showing you stuff that's already in the park for some apparent reason. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, but this is the theme of this area is kind of exploration, like when children go out into the woods to explore and use their imagination. That's a little bit of a weird theme if you put it into words, but if you think about it, it really makes sense, and I think it's a pretty good theme for an area, and I think it's going to be really cool when it opens, especially with some of the stuff that they've got going on there. So it's going to be cool, and I really can't wait until 2019 to see this area in person. Maybe at some point. That'd be pretty darn cool. Okay, now here's an aerial view of the new land as seen on Dollywood's website. It's exactly the same as the leaked renderings of the expansion that we saw back in February or March-ish. So I mean, yeah, it's nothing too special. We already kind of know, but this time it's in full color. You can kind of see you'll walk through a log to get into the land, and you'll walk down the path, and there you will see the great wildwood tree or something like that. It's basically going to be a giant tree that's like the epicenter of this entire land, and it's going to have a colorful light show at night. I think it's going to be pretty cool because Dollywood doesn't really have anything like that at this point. It doesn't really have a centerpiece, so it's cool to have, maybe if it's just a centerpiece of this themed area, but it's still some kind of centerpiece object, which is that's pretty nice. You can see there's going to be a lot of different things here. It's hard to make out from these renderings, but we'll kind of go through each ride a little bit and talk about it more in person. Now, first ride to talk about here is called Frogs and Fireflies, and it's nothing too special. It's just your typical hop on a thing and ride around in a circle. Basically, the frogs move around in a circle. They're not very clear as to whether this is a Dumbo ride type thing where you can move the frog up and down, or if it's just stationary in one place. But there are already several rides in the country fair section that feature going around in a circle. So this isn't all that exciting. We already have that in the park. There's like 3 or 4 rides in country fair that do that, but this is the only one in this section of the park that does this. So I'm okay with it. Will I ride it? Probably not, because it's just a generic spinning ride. And by the way, if you're wondering why it's called Frogs and Fireflies, if you just ride on frogs, it's because you can see their fireflies above the frogs. And yeah, this is kind of goes with the theme of the land a little bit better. But anyways, this is not that exciting of a thing. It's just your typical riding around in a circle type situation. Not exciting at all, really. Next up, we have the Mad Mockingbird. I don't know why it's called Mad Mockingbird singular instead of birds plural, because it's a bunch of different birds going around in circles. Maybe they'll fix that before the final launch of the expansion and the ride. They got a lot of time to make any edits they want to make. But anyways, this is one of those flying scooter rides. I forgot the creator. I think it's like Chance Rides or Mock Rides, one of the two. But this has kind of been a popular choice for a lot of parks to add. This family rides lately. It seems like it just shows up in more and more parks worldwide every year. So, it was only a matter of time before Dollywood got one of these too. You sit in the middle, and I've actually never ridden one of these personally. So I wouldn't say I'm super excited, and that's going to be a great one of the best rides in the park. But I am kind of excited to get to ride one of these rides, ride this ride in specific because I haven't ever ridden anything like this before. But apparently, you sit in the middle, and there's a control stick where you can kind of angle the glider portion of the scooter swing, and that apparently makes you swing either farther out to the side or closer into the middle, so you can kind of choose your level of thrill with that kind of throttle-ish stick to control the little thingy back and forth. I know my terminology is absolutely excellent, and you'll just kind of spin around in a circle like that. I don't know. It could be really cool. It could suck. That's why I said I'm kind of anticipating getting to ride this, and because I've never ridden anything like this before. As someone who's ridden one of these flying scooter rides before, can let me know whether these are worth the time or not, if they're good or not. Obviously, these are all just family rides, so nothing's going to be that thrilling. You're still going to be better off going to ride like Wild Eagle or Lightning Rod or something like that if you're looking for thrills. But rides like this are great for the family. Wildwood Grove is going to be a great place for the whole family, or even if you're a big coaster nerd and sometimes we just need breaks from the thrill. As big as a coaster nerd as you are, you need a break sometimes, and so you can come to Wildwood Grove for that. It's going to be kind of interesting. But yeah, they said they intentionally chose the mockingbird to theme this ride to because that's the Tennessee state bird. Just a little fun fact there. So next up to talk about is the Sycamore Swing. It's one of those generic pirate ship swinging rides that, again, almost every park has. So it's kind of interesting to me that Dollywood didn't have one of these yet, but they're finally getting one. It's also cool to see that they've got one not themed to pirate ships or ships in general. It seems like every park I go to, they have a ship ride that's a ship. This is a ship ride that's not a ship. Apparently, this is a swinging branch that's like loose from the great tree in the middle or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of a cheesy, story behind the ride. But it doesn't really matter. This whole land is kind of themed to imagination, so everything's just kind of whatever the heck goes, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I have ridden quite a few of these swing rides. It's nothing to get too excited about since pretty much every park in the world has these, but I think it's interesting to see that this is going to be, built, because I haven't seen one of these built in a long time, It seems like you just go places and they've already been there. You look at the dates they were installed long time ago. It's been a while since I've seen one be built brand new, so this will be fun. But yeah, these rides are pretty fun, pretty thrilling for what they are. You can really feel the swinging sensation, if you know what I mean. So I'm definitely looking forward to having one of these in the park. And next up, we have Black Bear Trail, which I think is an interesting ride. Of course, we don't know the manufacturer of this ride yet, or what kind of ride it is, so that's kind of unfortunate. But basically, you get on the bears, and you ride the bear around in a circle. It's kind of a power ride. We don't know how fast you go, but it can't be that fast, because it doesn't look like you're strapped in very well. You're just kind of sitting there. So I bet it goes pretty slow. It's probably not a thrilling thing, but it's definitely a unique thing. Like the other like 3 rides I've talked about coming to Wildwood Grove are things that pretty much every theme park or amusement park in the world has. This is something that a very rare few parks in the world actually have. So that's why it's cool. I think it's cool. I'm pretty excited for it because it's something very unique, if you know what I mean. So I really wish we knew a bit more about it. All we really have is the picture that you're seeing right now. And that's all we really know about this. So, make what you want out of it. And last but not least, I saved the best for last. This is probably this is what every coaster nerd in the world is most excited for about Wildwood Grove. This is the Dragon Flyer, which I thought was a pretty stupid name at first, but it's really growing on me the more I say it. It actually sounds pretty darn cool. Of course, it's not themed to dragons, it's themed to dragonflies, and apparently it's themed to the uncontrollable nature of a flying dragonfly darting back and forth, up and down, around in circles. Yeah, I think it's going to do a great job replicating that whole dragonfly feeling that no one actually knows what it's like. But stat wise, they haven't revealed anything official yet, but we kind of already know this is going to be a Vekoma, I think 453M or something like that. Family suspended coaster. It's going to be identical to Orkanen at Farup Summerland in Denmark. So if you want to know what Dragonflyer is going to be like, you can just look up Orkanen in Farup Summerland in Denmark. If you don't know how to spell that, well, good luck. Anyways, it looks like a pretty fun family ride. Notice I said family ride, but it looks like it's going to be pretty thrilling. It's kind of a Fire Chaser situation. Fire Chaser Express is not a super thrilling, exhilarating ride, but I still find it very, very fun, and so I gotta ride it every time I visit. I feel like this will be the same way. It's not gonna be like lightning rod style, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die thrills, but it's going to be a pretty good family ride, I think, and it's gonna be sort of exhilarating actually for a family ride. And of course, this is going to be one of the newer Vekoma models. People kind of think of Vekoma and they think of bleh, Vekoma because a lot of their old rides are really, really rough and they have the worst restraints. Personal experience, speaking from personal experience. But apparently, this new generation of Vekomas, there are not very many of them in the U.S., which is why we don't seem to be as educated about them. But this will be one of the first new generation Vekoma coasters in the U.S. It's got a new track design that's apparently a lot smoother. And the train restraints, you can look up again the Orkanen at Farup Summerland. Said the Orkanen. Just Orkanen, guys. Orkanen. Just look that up. Anyways, you can see the off-ride for that, the restraints. It's kind of like Skyrush at Hershey Park, if any of you have been to Hershey Park. It's pretty much the same restraint style as Skyrush, where it comes down over you and it sits on your legs kind of like a lap bar, but the actual over-the-shoulder part's behind you. So it's a very free-feeling restraint. Like, I feel like this is the most lacking that could have gone in their restraint department, which is good because older Vekoma suspended coasters are kind of known for beating your head to a pulp. But anyways, looks like it's going to be fun. The restraints, I feel like, are going to make it way better. And, the more I watch the Orkanen POVs, the more excited I kind of am for this. So, yeah, it's probably the most hype part of, Wildwood Grove for me. So, yeah. And finally, we have a beautiful representation here of what this place is going to look like lit up at night. It is going to be awesome looking. I live a really long ways away from Dollywood. So during the rare occasion I do actually go, gotta leave kind of early, like way before sunset in order to get home. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive to get home. So yeah, I don't really get to stay. I've only been to Dollywood in the dark once, ever. But anyways, I will have to go in the dark at some point next year because I want to see this tree all lit up, colorful, and the fireflies flying around the grove. I want to see how they pull that off. And you can kind of see here another ride. Like I said, what I showed you before was not all the rides. It was just the rides that they went into great detail on in the announcement video and showed us individual ride photos on. Here you can see the treetop tower where you're going to get in these gondola, Ferris wheel gondola type vehicles, and that's going to lift you up. It didn't say how high, but it's going to lift you up in the air somehow, and you're going to see all of Dollywood from up there, or all of Wildwood Grove, I guess, depending on how tall this thing is. They never really told us. But anyways, it's going to be cool. There's some other stuff I didn't talk about as much. There's going to be a splash pad. We already have a splash pad, fireman-themed splash pad down by Fire Chaser. But there's going to be another splash pad, the Wildwood Creek or something like that. And there's also going to be, what are we talking about anymore? There's going to be like a playground type area. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. There's also going to be a restaurant of some sort, which they didn't talk about at all during the announcement video, but we all know there's a restaurant in this place somewhere. Of course, there's going to be. But yeah, you can also see how awesome the landscaping is. I think it's going to be one of the coolest looking areas of the park. The theming idea is really growing on me the more I think about it, and I think it's going to be a really beautiful section of the park, especially it's going to have the creek running through it. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm excited, guys. You guys are probably wondering when I'm going to be up there for construction updates and for this thing to be done. And the answer to that is, who knows? I'm probably not going to go back at all this year. I probably won't be able to. Time, money, transportation, the three hardest parts of life, and this is no different by any means. There isn't really an easy way for me to get to the park. So yeah, so that's why I probably won't be back at all the rest of the year. So the 2 construction updates I've done so far, that's pretty much all I'm doing. But I do have a construction update on my channel from July, only 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. So you can look that up and see it. And yeah, they pretty much got 1 frame up so far. I think they might be able to finish this by March. I'm not sure. So yeah. And by the way, lightning rod is still broken down, and I'm definitely not going back at all this year until lightning rod's back up. I'm not even going to put effort into possibly trying to go back if lightning rod's going to be closed, because that's one of the main reasons that you should go to Dollywood is to ride that. And yeah, it just really puts me in emotional pain to be there at the park and not be able to ride lightning rod. But yeah, I would love to be there opening day to experience this little area the first day it's open, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out yet. I'll let you guys know for sure later at some point. I'm trying really hard to work out being able to be there on opening day, but I'm really not sure if that'll work out yet. So yeah, that's the answers to all that. I have no idea. But let me know down in the comments below what you think about Dollywood's new Wildwood Grove section of the park, kind of a family-oriented section, and what you'd like to see. How about what you like to see at Dollywood in the future? Let's do that, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.